we have added and deleted sports, and I think a lot of that was determined by some circumstances that we went through. As an example, we shut down our ski area because of the lack of snow and the expense of operating that and the insurance that it costs to do that. And so we ended up dropping skiing as a program, which was unfortunate because I thought skiing was a great program, especially when we had the hill across the street. And so that was one of the major things that had happened with us. We also had indoor track and outdoor track, and of course our outdoor track at the time was around Sabine Field, a dirt track. We couldn't host any home matches. It just wasn't an economical thing to have for us, and track was very expensive at the time. And we did have a rifle program, and again, because of the building that we were in and the lead content in the rifle range, we had to shut that down. And a rifle range is very expensive to build, and there's a small number of participants in that program. So we made that decision to do that. Moving forward, we were able to add some sports that I think were beneficial to the institution. Certainly on the women's side, adding women's ice hockey, women's lacrosse, women's volleyball, I think have been great additions to our athletic program on the women's side. And then taking men's rugby and women's rugby and making them varsity programs, I think certainly added to the excitement of those two programs, and it also allowed those student athletes to really be treated like every other student athlete on campus as a varsity team. For many years we didn't have a conference, and we played an independent schedule, and if we were fortunate enough to have great teams, we might qualify for a playoff, be it the NCAA or the ECAC. And then as schools continued to get together, conferences formed, and we were fortunate enough to get involved with the Freedom Football Conference in football. That was a great conference, a lot of New England schools. I thought it was one of the best football conferences that New England had, and unfortunately a couple of schools in that conference decided to go in a different direction, and that conference folded. So we were back again as an independent, and being an independent in football is extremely difficult, especially when you're looking for games and other schools are in conferences. So we then joined the Empire 8, which was a really good conference, very, very competitive, but had some issues for us in terms of travel distance and competitiveness, and so we were in that conference for a few years, and then the ECFC decided to form, and we thought that was a great fit for us, so we made that move and are there now. And obviously in 2017 we will be moving to a new football conference, the NUMAC conference, which I really think brings us back to where we started, with competition against Coast Guard and Kings Point and Springfield and WPI. Those were schools that we had always played in the past, and now we're right back playing them again. So football, I think, has seen the major conference changes as well. With regards to overall conference, we were in the Constitution Athletic Conference a number of years ago, and that was a conference built with schools that right now primarily make up the NUMAC conference. And the Constitution Athletic Conference, I thought, was a terrific conference for us. Great schools, great competition, but there was a group of schools in that conference that really were concerned about geographic location and travel, and so they decided to form what is now called the NUMAC Conference. And so Norwich was left out along with a couple other schools without a conference, and we started searching, and we originally jumped into the Great Northeast Athletic Conference for women. to give our women's conference an opportunity to our women's team to give them an opportunity to participate in the conference. And then the GNAC formed both men and women, and you know, we felt that that was an appropriate move for Norwich athletics. And you know, we've been a part of that conference for a number of years and have been very competitive in it, have won a number of championships, and you know, feel that, you know, right now that conference is a place for us to be.
This video was produced by Norwich Athletic Communications.